Okay. Let's just...
So Miss Carter is the one who is supposed to be on summer school.
Hello, Miss Carter. Can you please answer my question? Huh? Oh, I'm so sorry. What was the question again? Did you go to see Brian on the 31st of May? No. Did you have any physical contact with him at all during this week? No. When was the last time you met or spoke with Brian? Maybe a week and a half ago. Are you aware that Mr. Brian Olsen is dead? What? Are you sure? He was killed last night in his apartment. Where were you on the night of the 31st of May? So it was the 31st that he was killed. Well, he was killed at some point on the 31st going into the 1st. So
all right.
I was at home.
So, first off, we have the answer to that question. We know that Brian's dead, and we know that is Brian's room.
Yes. Okay. Interview of suspect number 2, Jack. So you're also in the band. Yes, I play the bass. I also play guitar, but I usually end up playing the bass. How would you describe your relationship with Brian? Brian? Honestly, he's more of Eric's friend than mine. Eric and I have known each other since elementary and have been tight since. Eric introduced me to Brian in high school when we started playing together. Can you go over your accounts of the incident? I was working for most of the day. I eventually left and headed to Brian's place. I bumped into Grace at the lobby and we both went up together. What time did you arrive? Maybe around 6:45? Did you recall seeing anyone right before entering the apartment? No. I mean, other than the guy at the front desk. All of us had something to drink, so some things might be unclear. I do remember Grace being pretty obnoxious the whole night. After I finished my drink, I left the apartment. Why did you leave? As I mentioned to the other officer, Brian was smoking heavily and I can't stand the smell of it. Where did you go? I went back home. Was anybody with you at the time? Anybody who could corroborate your story? No. Not even the man at the front desk? Look, this is getting annoying. I didn't do anything wrong. You got nothing on me. Just let me go. Okay. Brian was smoking heavily.
Hold on. No, hold on.
Mm-hmm. Wait a second.
He didn't finish his drink.
Sure didn't.
So he lied about that, at least.
He also said Brian was smoking heavily. I don't see evidence of heavy smoking. I also don't really see...
I mean, there's a... Well, I mean, I think he's, like, talking that, like...
Wait a second.
Historically, Brian smokes a lot.
Brian can't smoke.
Why?
He's asthmatic.
Well, we don't know that's Brian's bag.
Oh, wait, no, this is...
That's Mrs. That's,
Grace's.
Grace.
Okay.
That's his girlfriend.
Yeah, okay.
She's asthmatic and also is in summer school.
Okay. Would he smoke around her then?
I mean,
he said Jack.
If he's an, I mean, she doesn't live here, so I would assume that he smokes as much as he wants to in his own apartment when Grace isn't here.
I just don't.
Right?
I agree, but I don't see any other evidence of smoking.
I mean, maybe he doesn't smoke in his room. Maybe he smokes like in here with like the window open or something.
Maybe,
you know.
Okay, moving on. Not the right button.
Yep.
Yes, I'm one of the tenants of the apartment. We figured that out. How close are you with your brother? Close enough. I mean, we don't talk about deep things or anything. He mostly keeps to himself. So Lisa and Brian are brother and sister?
That would be the assumption, yes.
Are you aware of the allegations towards him? Huh? What allegations? Okay, let's change the topic. Out of all the...
Yes, she is aware of them.
Out of all the... Well, she doesn't know that it's Brian, though.
She was told in the group... no, she wasn't.
She was told that there was an allegation.
No, you're right. She was told it was somebody, but not who it was. You're correct.
Okay, let's change the topic. Out of all the attendees, has any of them shown any violent behaviors or tendencies? Violent? Not really. Well, actually, Andrew has been suspended a few times for getting into fights. Can you recall the last time he got into a fight? Last week, actually. He and this other guy were fighting over a girl. Wait, you guys don't actually think he did it, right? Do you usually lock the door to your room? Yes, I like to keep my room private. Brian sometimes has friends over, so I lock it anytime I have to head out. But you said you lost your key. It was coming from a friend's house, and I must have accidentally left it there. Right, what time did you leave your friend's house? Around 6:30 p.m. So how did you get into your apartment? Well, it was already open. Most of them were already inside. Brian must have let them in. What time did you arrive? Around 7. Do you keep a spare key? Yes, we keep a spare key on the kitchen wall, but it was missing. Someone must have taken it. Can you recall exactly when you noticed the spare key went missing? I checked as soon as I came back, but it was already gone. So how did you get into your room? Brian used his key set to let me in. Do you often have parties at your apartments? Your apartment? Yes, mostly for special occasions, but sometimes just to hang out on the weekend. Is there often alcohol involved? Yes. Andrew usually buys a drink for us. Can you repeat what you told us? I was asleep. I woke up. It was dark. I went to the restroom, and that's what I saw. I saw him lying there in the room. I didn't know what to do. And then what happened? I panicked and screamed. Moments later, Andrew came running by, gave me a panic attack. Do you have any suspicion as to who his murderer could be? I don't know. I don't understand how this could happen. We are all really good friends. So she went to a friend's house and forgot her keys. That's not important. What is important...
Well, she didn't forget her keys. She left them there.
Yeah. What is important is that the spare keys were gone by the time she got home.
Right.
Okay. That's
so
important.
She's not the one who had the spare keys to get into Brian's room.
Correct.
Well, if she's not lying to the police.
Right. Can you please account when you and the others arrived at the apartment? Well, I arrived at the apartment around the same time as Lisa, and everyone was already there, so I don't know when the others arrived. Lisa didn't mention that. Most of them were already inside. Brian must have let them in. What time did you arrive? Around 7. Okay. What happened after? I don't know, man. I thought you have all the answers. It's after midnight. I'm tired as hell. I gotta go soon. What happened after? I was in the toilet puking for quite a bit, and then I woke up Eric. Where was Jack during this time? I don't know. None of us saw him for the rest of the night. You were the one who brought the drinks to the party, correct? Yes. You're not old enough to drink. How did you purchase them? Did you contaminate the drinks in any way? What? Of course I didn't contaminate the drinks. You do know that underage drinking or purchase of alcohol is a misdemeanor. Really? That's all you got? I thought you guys were trying to solve a murder. Get serious. This is a complete waste of time. None of my friends did what you're suggesting. So, if we believe Andrew's account, he got there around the same time as Lisa, so around 7 o'clock. And everybody was already there, so he might have been the second last to arrive.
Maybe.
And then he got really drunk and was puking in the toilet for most of the night.
But also, didn't somebody already mention that they brought the drinks or whatever? Like, in one of those group chats or whatever?
Already made preparations. Eric, make sure he doesn't drink so much.
All the way at the top.
Let's go. I'm bringing drinks. Chester.
So Jester 578
is Andrew.
So we can say Andrew is the person who brought the drinks, is the drummer, is the tennis guy, and is into Christy.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
So then that leaves the last one to be Jack.
Yes. Sorry. Can you elaborate more on your relationship with Brian? I already told you he and I have been dating for about a year and things were going well. Can you please tell us your accounts of the evening? Look, Christy is 100% guilty here. That lying bitch has been trying to get in between Brian and I ever since we got together. She can't stomach that he chose me and not her. I'm telling you, that girl is batshit psycho. Please calm down, Miss Burns. Don't tell me to calm down. That girl should be behind bars. Please just answer the question. Fine. I arrived at the apartment at the same time as Jack. We got out of the elevator just in time to see Christy leave the apartment and run off. Why the hell was she even there? Does she not even... Miss Burns, please focus. Are you sure you saw Miss Carter leave the apartment? Oh, 100%.
Wait. She was there? She's the asthmatic.
She's the only girl in this world that has dyed green hair and braids her hair like that. After Andrew came with the drinks, we all started playing a drinking game. This went on for most of the night, and I eventually knocked out. Can you recall if anyone passed out before you did? I'm sorry, I can't. I completely blacked out. I guess I must have drank a bit too much because the cops already arrived by the time I woke up. What makes you say that Christy is the asthmatic?
Well, because Christy's Miss Carter.
Grace Carter.
No. Grace, are you sure you saw Miss Carter leave the apartment?
Oh.
So Christy Carter was here at the party.
Grace Burns. Ooh. But she left before everybody else got there.
Yeah.
So she could have taken the keys.
Could have.
Can you please... God, I gotta yawn again.
That's fine.
Sorry, everybody. It's that kind of day. For Eric, can you please account when you and the others arrived at the apartment? I know I was the fourth to arrive. Brian, Grace, and Jack were already there. So 4th, 5th, 6th. So it's, yeah, okay. I must have missed something because Grace's attitude was off the entire time. Maybe Grace and Brian had a fight. I have no idea. I was super glad when Lisa arrived. She always livens the mood. I think Andrew was the last to come. He's always late for everything. Were you drinking that night? We all were. Grace usually doesn't drink that much, but that night she was chugging as if there was no tomorrow. Anything to note of that night? I'm not sure how drunk I was, but I do remember Jack and Brian were arguing for a bit. Things got pretty heated, but Brian eventually got up and locked himself in his room. You were the one who called 911, correct? Yes. It says here on the report that you discovered the body and called law enforcement after 2 hours. Why did it take you so long to call law enforcement? Because Andrew was completely against it. Why was he against calling the authorities? Something about underage drinking and him getting in more trouble than the rest of us? I see. Look, I know he's a little dumb at times, but trust me, he didn't do this. Error. Mic stopped working. What part of I don't remember much do you not understand? Please calm down. We want to clarify the details. Please tell us again. Like I said, I was drinking heavily that night. I must have passed out because the next moment I remember was Andrew waking me up by pouring water on my face. Lisa tells me that you had a pretty serious argument with Brian last week. Want to tell me about that? Seriously? You guys are reaching. It's not my case about interrupting rehearsals with my mistakes. I've been busy recently, so I haven't had much time to practice. Come on, there's no way I'll kill him over something like that. I have my pride as a musician. I was going to show him up with my performance.
Okay. So, he said Andrew showed up last.
This is Christy, Miss Carter. Yeah, Christy. Oh, right. So she doesn't really have an alibi.
She also lied that she wasn't there.
Yeah. But she seems surprised.
But everyone else said she left anyway.
Well, everybody else said that she doesn't say anything about her except for Grace. And Grace doesn't like her.
Grace did say that she left. Grace said she left, that Grace arrived at the same time as Jack. Jack was not the last person to arrive.
Right.
Andrew was the last person to arrive.
Right.
But Andrew is the person who arrived with the alcohol.
Okay.
But also Grace arrived at the apartment. No, Lisa is the one who said the keys are missing. So whoever arrived before Lisa took the keys?
So, but here's the thing. Jack says that he bumped into Grace at the lobby and we both went up together, which Grace corroborates. She says, I got to the apartment at the same time as Jack. We got out of the elevator just in time to see Christy leave the apartment and run off. Jack doesn't say anything about that.
Well, no.
I think that Grace is trying to frame Christy.
Well, she obviously has a motive for that, but I don't think that... Well, so...
Well, what else do we know?
First off,
what else do we know?
So first off, Jack lied about finishing his drink and leaving.
Yeah.
Grace has a motive because, Brian was like seeing... It's like, Christy was here. This is her bag. And left her bag here. Christy was lying about not being here.
Yeah, Christy was definitely lying about not being here. She also showed up before anybody else and very well could have taken the keys from somewhere.
The only people that could have taken the keys are the people that were here before Lisa.
Correct. She was either the
who was here before Lisa?
Everybody. But Brian wouldn't need it because he has his own
Andrew
keys.
was here last.
Yeah.
So it's not Andrew.
It's definitely not Brian.
It's not Brian. It's not Lisa.
Yeah.
So it's either Jack, Christy, Eric. Jack, Christy, or Eric.
Or Grace. Yeah. Grace says that she got blackout drunk, which kind of tracks. We have to make inferences here, which I hate doing.
Mm-hmm.
What's drummer? Get there. Weird. And there's that key, which isn't important. Okay. Excuse me. Okay.
Unless we're making an assumption here. We're making a bad assumption here.
Which is?
Why did Christy leave her bag?
She was definitely here. Like, we know that.
Do we know that? Well, we know that Christy was here, but why'd she leave her bag?
I think...
Unless that's not her bag.
That's definitely her bag. It's got her note in it.
Is it? Is that her note?
Who else would it be? It literally can't be anybody else. Mr. and Mrs. Carter.
So... No.
Christy is graduating this year.
Hold on. Yeah, so Christy's graduating.
Yeah.
She can't be in summer school.
No, she can, because look at the contents of the note. The summer school course allows your student to earn credit.
It says she is graduating, not like she's graduating if she completes summer school.
Well, they wouldn't necessarily know, right? Because, I mean...
I think her, like, her relatives would know that, or I don't know.
Cassie told me she was sexually assaulted by someone. Do you think maybe she made up the thing about Brian to get back at him? Yeah, wait a second. Brrr. Oh my god. Christy was sexually assaulted by someone at school. She hasn't been to school in a few days. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Olsen was sexual harassment of another student. Cool. When was the last time you met or spoke with Brian?
Last year.
Maybe a week and a half ago. Why aren't you mentioning the fucking sexual assault thing that
Alleged
you accused
sexual
him
assault,
of
yeah.
5 days ago?
Well, because she probably thinks that would make her seem like a suspect or something.
Probably. She's suspicious as fuck.
Well, so we know Brian Olsen died. We know the owner of the blue sports bag is Andrew.
Do we know his last name?
I don't think so.
No, we don't. Okay. Who was the second last to arrive was Lisa, because Andrew arrived after, right? Who's the killer? I swear to God, it's Christy Carter.
I don't think it's Christy Carter.
Who else would have killed him? She showed up.
I don't think that's her backpack.
Whose backpack would it be?
Well, whose isn't it? If Christy, let's go forward with the assumption that Christy is graduating and therefore not going to summer school, right?
Okay.
So whose is it not? It's not Brian, it's not Grace, it's not Andrew.
It's not Lisa, because Lisa's doing great.
It's not Lisa. So we have Jack and we have Eric.
Okay.
Can we tie either of them to, like, is Jack or Eric like Christy's brother?
I'm really sorry, something came up. Yeah, that tracks. Gamer Boy is the bass guy.
But who is that? Because of the people here...
Jack is the bass player.
Because of the people here, we know the ages or whatever, right?
Yeah. Jack is 17.
Jack is the youngest here.
So
Brian, Eric, and Andrew, I would assume, would be graduating. Jack would still be in his junior year.
Why the hell would Jack have Christy's note?
Unless he is Jack Carter.
Wait, maybe you're right. Hold on.
Because then that makes sense as to why Brian died. Like, he got... If Christy had a brother... It's obviously not
You're
Lisa.
lucky
it's not
you
Andrew.
have a brother, Lisa. What's that supposed to mean? He's a big guy. Even guys are intimidated by him. Perfect creep deterrent. Christy doesn't have a brother. You're lucky you have a brother.
No, she does have a brother.
She does. Ooh.
She has multiple brothers.
Okay. You're right. I know all of them. They're all pretty nice guys.
So she knows them and she's assumedly met them.
Yeah. Which doesn't tell us anything, really. But this is talking about Andrew, right?
But we do know that Jack had an argument with Brian. What if that argument was about, like, the allegations that he molested or assaulted Kirsty? Because I would think that if Kirsty left, she would have taken her bag with her necessary medication in it. That can't be her bag.
Brian was smoking heavily and I can't stand the smell of it. Maybe he is asthmatic. Do you recall seeing anybody right before entering the apartment? He says no. Whereas she says yes. But they specifically asked about it.
So what if he... So Grace said
Grace
who?
Grace is setting up Christy. Trying to get her fucked up.
But Jack is protecting her by saying he didn't see her. Well, if Grace is making up that Christy was there, we know she was there.
And Jack is definitely lying about the fact that he finished his drink and left the apartment. But he definitely did leave the apartment.
Yes.
So you think Jack's last name is Jack Carter?
I think it's Jack Carter. I think he, stole the spare key when he arrived, because he wasn't the last to arrive. And then when everyone was passed out, he opened Brian's door, shot him, and then left. Or whenever he left and then came back later when everyone was supposed to be passed out and then shot him.
Yeah. I think you're right. So if we go off of that... Jack.
I'm going to say Jack Carter.
And...
Or Jack. I'm assuming Jack is Jack Carter.
Yeah, but we'll just see if it allows us to do just the first names.
All right.
Boom! Ho ho ho! Good fucking call. Jesus. We're done with the case file.
Yeah, we did it.
Give us the narrative, please. Apartment 401, the break-in. Medical report for Brenda Peterson. I am writing to provide a medical update on Brenda Peterson, a patient who presented herself to our clinic earlier today.
Ooh.
Ms. Peterson's face exhibited severe bruising and significant damage, indicating a traumatic incident. Notably, this marks the second time she sought medical attention for similar injuries within the last month. During her previous visit, it was reported that Miss Patterson had fallen down the stairs, but the nature and extent of her injuries on both occasions raised concern about the consistency of these explanations. Upon examination, it became evident that Miss Peterson required immediate attention to manage the pain and discomfort resulting from her injuries. Consequently, we have prescribed a stronger dose of painkillers to provide more effective relief. Given the pattern observed in her medical history, it is imperative to consider alternative explanations for her injuries and to ensure that appropriate measures are taken to address any potential risk to her well-being. In light of these concerns, we strongly recommend a comprehensive assessment of Miss Peterson's situation, involving collaboration with relevant agencies such as social services and law enforcement. This approach aims to ensure her safety, address any potential underlying issues contributing to her injuries, and prevent further harm. Please feel free to contact our office if you have any additional questions or further discussion on Miss Peterson's case is necessary. That was before the break-in.
Yeah.
Carol's
Oh, boy.
Diary. Dear Diary Entry 1, today was an unexpected turn of events. I met Ronnie for the first time at the coffee shop where I work. His warm smile and the way his eyes lit up when he ordered his usual black coffee caught me off guard. We chatted briefly, and I couldn't help but feel a spark. Ronnie took me out for the first time tonight. We went to this cozy little bistro downtown. The conversation flowed effortlessly. I found myself getting lost in his stories. He has this magnetic charm that's hard to resist. Felt like the world disappeared, and it was just the two of us. Ronnie and I went on another date, and I was pleasantly surprised by how well it went. We went to this cute little Italian restaurant that he had discovered, and the food was amazing. As we talked, I found myself more and more drawn to him. His personality and humor made me feel at ease, and we were able to have genuine conversations about our interests and life experiences. It's been a long time since I felt such a strong connection with someone. I'm excited to see where this could lead, but I also know that it's important to take things slow and enjoy the moments we share. For now, I'm just looking forward to getting to know Ronnie even more.
Oh.
Ronnie is married. I stumbled upon his wedding ring accidentally and my heart sank. How did I not see this coming? The guilt is eating at me, but at the same time I can't ignore the feelings that have developed. What have I gotten myself into? Ronnie confided in me today about the problems in his marriage. He shared the struggles and the growing distance between him and his spouse. I found myself torn between sympathy and guilt. I've never intended to become entangled in someone else's marital issues. I'm left questioning the path I've chosen. Ronnie dropped a bombshell on me today. He's contemplating getting a divorce. My emotions are all over the place. Part of me is hopeful, but another part is filled with uncertainty. Can he really leave his marriage for me? Is this just wishful thinking? I need to tread carefully. I just found out I'm pregnant.
Ooh.
We called that one.
Mm-hmm.
The celebration. City in shock. Promising teenager's life cut short in party shooting incident. What began as a bond forged in the hallways and classrooms has ended in heartbreak and sorrow. Authorities are still investigating the incident, but it's been reported that the allegations against Mr. Olson may have been exaggerated. As the story continues to unfold, the question of misguided information and its implications is brought to the forefront. As we grapple with the harsh reality of this situation, it becomes paramount for us to reflect on the moral implications of sharing false information. In an age where information can spread like wildfire, we must recognize the profound impact that our words can have on the lives of others. This heartbreaking incident serves as a somber reminder that the choices we make, the words we utter, and the information we share can carry profound consequences. It is our collective responsibility to exercise caution, empathy, and integrity in our interactions, understanding that the power of our words can either build bridges or lead to irreparable damage. In the face of this tragedy, let us take a moment to mourn the loss of a young man, and may this be a reminder to reflect on the importance of honesty, compassion, and the profound impact our actions can have on the lives of those around us. May we strive for a world where trust is upheld, and where the weight of truth prevails over the darkness that falsehood can cast upon us all. Christy lied about being sexually assaulted. Jack found out about it. Killed him.
But why did she lie about it?
Because she was trying to break up him and Grace.
Yeah, I guess that's a really weird way of going about it.
If you were granted the power to pardon one of the perpetrators, who would you choose? Carol?
Ooh,
Jack?
That's rough.
Or Brenda?
Well, it's definitely not Carol.
No, fuck Carol.
Brenda was a victim of sexual assault, or not sexual assault, just physical assault, like just clearly trying to do right by her children.
But she then executed
a man. But she did execute that guy in cold blood.
Oof.
If I had to pick, I'd say Jack. Because he was doing it out of, like, love for his sister. Like, how dare you, fuck with her, but then he was misinformed. Like Christy lied about it, and he found out and was like, I'll protect you. It's like, you're my little sister.
Older sister,
like,
but
you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, he'll protect her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all Brenda had to do was just shoot him in the hip and call the police. She didn't have to walk up and behind him and shoot him in the head.
Oh, Jesus. I just realized. She shot him in the hip, dialed 911, didn't actually connect the phone line, walked over and shot him in the head.
Yeah, I'm going to say Jack then.
I am going to say none of them. But that's not a choice that we can make, so we're going to go with Jack. Ladies and gentlemen of Character Select Landia, who would you choose to pardon? And if you say Carol, get out.
Yeah, and it's not one of those ones where you can say, I'm not pardoning any of them. You have to pick one of them.
Yeah.
Grade A.
Oh, here we go. At approximately 11 p.m. on July 16th, 2004, Clyde Peterson broke into an apartment. The apartment is currently being rented by his ex-wife Brenda Peterson, now known as Brenda Sherman. The noise that Clyde made when he knocked over the planter woke up the sleeping baby. The baby's crying alerted Brenda, who was resting on the couch in the living room. The intruder tried to calm the baby before making his way into the next room. Brenda, hearing everything from the baby monitor, observed the intruder heading into her study room. Yep. She then quietly made her way to her safe inside her closet. I called that to retrieve her gun. Armed, she then confronted the intruder who was desperately searching for something inside her study room. Upon opening the door to her study, she recognized the intruder, her ex-husband Clyde. While aiming her gun towards Clyde, she moved closer to her landline at her desk and tried to dial 911. Before she could finish, Clyde pulled out his own gun. A startled Brenda then fired a bullet at Clyde. He accidentally fired one shot, which hit the side of a shelf before he fell. Still alive, he tried to crawl away. Brenda walked up to Clyde, shot him in the head, and killed him.
Yeah, we called all of that.
On April 24th, 2002, at approximately 7 p.m., Jessica and her husband Ronnie hosted a small dinner gathering celebrating Jessica's birthday. Carol, Victor, and James were the guests. However, James didn't end up showing up. Unbeknownst to the rest, Ronnie had an affair with Carol. Through the affair, Carol ended up being pregnant with Ronnie's child. Ronnie started having second thoughts about the affair and intended to have the baby aborted. Carol, fearful of losing Ronnie, decided to take action against the other person in the equation, Jessica. During the gathering, Carol had brought a dose of lethal medication. She poisoned her cup, and when no one was looking, she switched her cup with Jessica's. Jessica drank the lethal medication and succumbed to the poison. I mean...
So we didn't call that part.
We didn't call the
switching of the cups, but we did call that Carol poisoned Jessica's cup.
Yeah. On May 31st, 2003, at approximately 7 p.m., 6 friends, Andrew, Brian, Eric, Grace, Jack, and Lisa, had gathered at an apartment to celebrate their graduation from high school. Brian and Lisa, brother and sister, interesting, are the current tenants of the apartment. Brian is currently dating Grace, and Jack has an older sister named Christy who has feelings for Brian. Prior to the events of June 1st, Brian had a false yet damning allegations thrown towards him. In a fit of jealousy and to stir up drama, Christy alleged that Brian had sexually assaulted her on school grounds. This allegation caused Brian to be suspended from the school while the faculty and authorities investigated the matter. Unaware of the allegations being false, Jack plotted to take matters into his own hands. For the day of the celebration, Brian had arrived at the apartment first. Christy stopped by the apartment before anyone else arrived to talk to Brian privately. Christy eventually left, and soon after, everyone else arrived. Grace and Brian had an argument, which prompted Brian to retreat to his room. Brian had opened a pack of cigarettes and smoked a few. Jack had left the apartment due to being sensitive to smoking. Jack had returned to find everybody wasted and knocked out. Jack took the opportunity to confront Brian, who was still in his room at the time. After a brief confrontation, Jack shot Brian. Stunned by what he had just done, Jack ran out of the apartment. God, we called all of that for the most part. Whew.
Pretty much.
Well, next time on Character Select, there's only one case file left. But it's
question mark.
But it's going to be tough. Those last two on the fourth floor were really hard just because of the lack of evidence and the amount of inference we needed to make. But yeah, I think we're going to do pretty well on Bloodbath. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure to click that like button down below if you liked it. And Tyler,
Dave,
how many notes did you make today?
Well, I mean, you're the one that made all of them, but I made the notes in my mind.
That's not the Noteboy way.
My mind palace.
That's not the Noteboy way. You're fired.
I'll make notes next time, then.